Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack Later still Lake Jackson. This one's coming from my little shitty galley kitchen in Dickinson, Texas. That's the thing. This one, oh man, I used to love it at this little local Italian place. Somebody bought it, turned it into just pizza, and they don't do it no more, so screw them. But I'm going to show you how I do it here and try to do as best I can. So, before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y stuff, get the little notification bell down in this corner. You ring on that, you'll get a heads up whenever we do these as close to Tuesdays and Fridays as possible. I apologize, I had a lot of school and hurricanes going on. So, also, there's a link down in the doobly-doo, man. We got merch. I got aprons and pot holders. It's got a cuss word on it. And then we got spoons as well. I got the spoon here too. I was using it for this one, just to annoy Jack. It tells you to season a spoon. So we got that stuff. It's down in the link down the doobly-doo. We're a small business. We very much appreciate it. Let's just get into the food. I hate it too when they get on and like, well, I'll tell you about the recipe, but I'm going to tell you about my first year of living abroad and why I first decided to screw all that noise. Let's just get into the food. Alright, you're going to need some boneless chicken. I got this for $5 and I got it for like half price. You're going to need some prosciutto, which is super fancy. It's over the deli stuff. These are going to be your big expenditure, your meats, your chicken and the prosciutto stuff. You're going to want to get some fresh sage. I got it for super cheap because it was reduced. You go late in the evening, you get a lot of the stuff cheaper. You're going to need half a stick of butter, which is just actual butter. You're going to want some olive oil, virgin or not. It's however slutty your oil is up to you. You're going to want some salt and pepper, obviously. That's the only thing I'm really seasoning it with other than the sage. You're going to get you some white wine. I was able to get this box for like $3. And you're going to need just a cup of chicken broth. So that's going to be relatively inexpensive. And I'm going to add some baby spinach, capers, and garlic later. But it's completely optional. It's completely up to you. So you get your chicken cutlet and make sure it's cut down to where it's decently small and mashed flat. If it's not flat, get you a hammer or just a heavy book and wrap it in plastic. Beat the bejeebles out of it until it's small and skinny. You want this to cook relatively fast because you're going to wrap it in the prosciutto. And that will cook really fast on the outside, so you want your chicken as thin as well. Original recipe said just like 2 minutes per side, but I wouldn't trust chicken that well, so I try to do it to 165 in the middle, which is going to take about 15 minutes. So break that down how you will. Again, you can leave these cutlets really big or stringy or however much. Shout out to Andy for the really sharp knife here. But just go ahead and cut those down to where they're decently small. Now we're just going to season them with salt and pepper on both sides. Again, it's up to your taste. I don't like using a lot of salt, but it cooks down pretty well, especially since the prosciutto is generally salted, so you got to be careful with that. I like my fresh cracked black pepper, mostly because I couldn't find the little tin or whatever. So now you got it salted and peppered on both sides. Going to get these out here. I'll get you some of the sage. Just 2 leaves per leaves. 2 leaves per, just kind of put them right there on the thing, kind of get the stems out of there. Then you're going to get this super thin. You got to be careful with this. It's got wax paper that separates the slices because it might just, T2 back together with liquid metal style stuff, so they got to keep it separated. And just go ahead and give it a nice wrap around. It sticks to itself pretty well as long as it's still relatively damp, right? So it's not dried out. Just go ahead and wrap that around, and it's going to use that to just keep the leaves stuck to it. I saw a recipe that said, yeah, just stick leaves to it instead of using. You can use the dry sage. That's completely up to you. But now that we got these down here, we're going to set them aside and get us a skillet. But yeah, you can use the powdered stuff. The fresh doesn't have to be there. It's up to you. I'm going to put this at medium, low. I'm going to put it at about a 5 out of my 9 because I want to cook it low and slow. I don't want to overcook the outside because you got really superheat that pork and it goes real bad. So give you about a tablespoon and a half of oil. Let it go ahead and get to heat it up in there. See, this is what you want. You want nice bubbles. You want it bubbling, not spattering. Okay, so go ahead and put those in there. And like my whole house is uneven, so I'm going to put this in here. Just remember to every now and then just turn and let that oil run to the other side and cook the other side. So after about 5-6 minutes, I went ahead and turned it over. You can see where it's starting to brown on the outside. You can see on the inside where the chicken's starting to go white on you. So that's what you want. So go ahead and keep turning it over. Make sure that oil gets back and forth. Oh, I'm watching the Maester Minds from Nerdist. We're talking about House of the Dragon stuff. Once the inside of your chickens get to 165, just go ahead and pull those off. Because you want the inside to be safe. So that 160, 165 is the inside internal temperature that you're looking for. But you can also feel it. Like you can feel it with your tongs there. You kind of feel it where it doesn't have a lot of give to it. You're set. So pull that off. You can throw in the spinach and give it a little blanch real quick. But make sure you get all the oil out of it. It doesn't grab that stuff really quick. Because you want to leave the oil in there. You want to scrape up any of the bottom stuff that's stuck here, like the brown or any part of the chicken that's on there. Then give it a cup of chicken broth and a cup of wine, right? Just right into the pan that had the oil and the chicken already in it. Okay. I'm using the Chardonnay that I got for relatively cheap. I don't do a lot of alcohols, so I'm just guessing. But I just knew it was a white wine, even though it's yellow. Whatever. So we're going to go ahead and cook this for about 5-6 minutes. Let it kind of heat down a little bit. I threw in some capers and some garlic just because it's me, and it just looked like I was just boiling wine, and I wanted something in it. So once it's in there, go ahead and give half of that stick of butter. Right, and if you don't have measurements in sticks, I don't know what to tell you. I think it's 4 tablespoons as it's crossed there. Go ahead, reduce the heat, let this butter go ahead and melt. When it's done, that's what you're going to put on the top of this, okay? So just, if you cut into smaller pieces, it melts faster. It just shouldn't chunk in the entire piece there, but I did. So just go ahead and let that heat, turn off, once the butter's melted, completely turn off the heat, and then you dress everything on top of it. So you put your spinach on the bottom, your chicken and pork on top, and then just add this to the top like a spoon. Get your living between paycheck spoon and just give you a little drizzle on top of it. You don't have to drown it, but if your chicken turned out dry, like you overcooked it, like I almost did with at least one of the pieces, that's fine. But that's it. You can put this next to all this kind of stuff, but this made at least enough for 4 people. Like I said, it was right at the end of our stuff. I had to catch a lot of it on sale and get it on discounted prices stuff, but it was still under $10. But this will hold up pretty well. The spinach, not so much. You need to keep an eye on that. It turns relatively quickly because it's fresh spinach. But the rest of it, as long as you keep it sealed and in the fridge, you're good for like a week or something. So this is great for like meal prep, or if you're just a fanatic for chicken saltimbocca, like I am, there you go. So yeah, so some people said they didn't do it with the capers or whatever. Like I said, the local used to have it like that, so that's how I did it. And the garlic, just because I wanted something floating around in my sauce. I would like to have that a little thicker, like where I usually get it. I don't know if it's because they let it cool off itself, and the white wine sauce it's a little different. But yeah, this turned out really well. You gotta try it, and I'll definitely be revisiting it. So there you have it. That worked out really well. Mine didn't come out near as thick as the other one, but it was close, but whatever. So yeah, if you do it differently, you want to see me do it differently, let me know. I'll revisit this. This is one of my favorite meals on the planet. So yes, please let me know. You can put it down in the comments. That's what the comments are there for. You can also find us on social media. Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're at all those at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. We're at Instagram at Living Between. Me, Oswey Nerdy, I'm on all those, including over on Facebook. TikTok and Twitter, mostly where I'm just talking action figures, comic books, pop culture stuff, miniatures, painting, that kind of stuff. So hit me up on that stuff. I'll talk cooking stuff too, so that's fine. I will see y'all next time. Y'all please be safe and enjoy the food, okay?